if there's one thing that I think is pretty beloved by basically everybody who's seen it, it's School of Rock. This is the 2003 film, directed by Richard Linklater, written by Mike White, and starring Jack Black. I'm not the biggest fan of Jack Black, I'll be perfectly honest, but I think this was the first of his films I saw. In fact, I'm pretty confident it was. And as an introduction to him, it's a pretty amazing film. I mean, it's fabulous. If you're unaware of this film, it's basically about Dewey Finn, played by Jack Black, who is kicked out of his own rock band, so ends up, through a very peculiar route, becoming a substitute teacher at this school, and he decides to make a class project to turn the kids into a rock band, and there's a competition involved, and the entire thing is them basically getting their roles, rehearsing for the competition, and as far as musicals go, it's pretty brilliant. The musical aspect is it's fantastic. I cannot fault it. But I'll talk about the music in a moment. But just the narrative, first of all, is brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic. It sounds like it could be really cheesy and cliche. It sounds like it could be a kind of High School Musical kind of thing, but it isn't. Also, this predates High School Musical. It's actually very well developed as a narrative. There are some emotional aspects to it, some brilliant character development. One of my favourite moments, and I don't want to say too much to spoil anything, but it involves the character of Summer, who's played by Miranda Cosgrove. And Summer is exceptionally intelligent, but she has no, should we say, creative abilities. She's not musical or anything like that. And it's the moment where Dewey Finn, as Schneebly, is facing her, and she is very upset because she basically doesn't think she can be in the band. And he gives her the one job that he knows she will be amazing at. And even though he has wormed his way into this role, he becomes really good at actually finding what each of the children are good at and bringing out their strengths and building their confidence. And it's absolutely beautiful the way that it does it, and the way that it looks at these children and goes, each of you is unique. You each have a role to play, not just in the band, but in life. And, everybody has a talent that they can utilise. You just have to find it. And actually, as a kind of message there, it's really beautiful and not something I ever would have expected from this kind of film. But it's gorgeous, and it gets a little bit emotional at times. The soundtrack is brilliant. We have a lot of classic songs, things like Smoke on the Water and things. And really, I just can't fault it. When we get to the competition stage, the special effects are incredible. It's very atmospheric. It's full of energy and full of power. But behind that is a really solid narrative. As I said, the whole worming his way into the school is a little bit questionable, but it doesn't leave that hanging. It kind of rounds it off quite nicely. So the narrative is very well developed. The costumes are fabulous. The music is brilliant. I cannot fault it. I'd say it's my favourite Jack Black film. That's a fact. But as I said, I'm not the biggest fan, so not really a very high bar. But I absolutely love it. The music is by Craig Wedren. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Almost definitely haven't. But it's phenomenal. If you haven't seen this film, make it the next film you watch. I promise that you will absolutely love it. It will just lift your spirits. It will make you feel really great. It's got a really great supporting cast as well. I honestly can't find any real fault with it. It's got 7.1 out of 10 on IMDb, so very well loved, very well received. Completely understandable why. I think you will love School of Rock.